Hey guys, we've got a really cool project for our 3D printer again, and that is quail eggs. Now, we all know that they are much smaller than our everyday egg. Now, if we are needing anything for incubation or just to do with farming of quail eggs, we can't really get it that easily. However, normal eggs you can get almost anywhere for incubation. So, we are going to go ahead and design a tray specifically for this little thing right here. So let's get into it. And what we need to do is start building our shape for the quail egg, and that all starts with this little shape here. So now in order to get that shape of a quail egg, what we need is a sphere. So once we've gone ahead and chosen a sphere, what we need to do is make that shape. So what we can do is we go ahead and measure our quail egg, and that's just by using a vernier. So we've got 34 tall, so we change that, say enter, and then what we do is go and make this 25 by 25, and then there we go, we've got a shape of an egg. So once you've got that, what we need to do is go ahead and do a cylinder, which will end up being the cup for this egg. So that is just a basic cylinder shape there, and we go ahead and we change the radius and the wall thickness until we end up with a shape like so. From there, all you're going to need is a rectangle base, and you're going to need pillars. Now these pillars are got these side pieces here so that we can actually get a perfect distance from each corner so that it's always in the same place, and when we put it there we end up just deleting those squares or rectangles when we're done. And then we just add all of our eggs to this board so that we end up with something like this. Now once you've gone ahead and done that, I went and I added in these little supports here, and we'll go ahead and print these extra and glue these in, and that's just to, in case that it does get a bit heavy, there's something preventing it from hitting the eggs below or above. And then you've got your 4 corner pillars, and that will keep the distance between 2 trays perfectly. And then underneath we've got a little cutout for the next tray to slot in underneath behind it, so that you can end up having tray upon tray inside the incubation chamber. So once you've got that, you basically just need to group everything, and then you end up with this really nice cup size for the egg to sit in. So from here you're going to go and export it as an STL, and then we head on over to our next program, which is Cura, with our K8 profile loaded. So now what we're going to do is go and find our tray, and there it is there. So now that we've got our tray here, we're going to print our little arm raisers, the 3 over here, that will print separate, because that will need to set up on its own little job. Whereas if you've got a big job, you want to do the bigger jobs all the same together, and rather print the smaller items slower on its own print bed later. And then if we have a look, we can see that there's the cutouts for the eggs to come through, and then our corner pieces as well are there as well. So what we need to do now is just go ahead and edit our settings. Once we've got this down and I'm happy with it, I'm going to choose the fine profile. But for now I'm going to do draft, because I really want to just see how this is going to come out. First thing I want to do is go to infill, and what we want to do is make sure that we don't have too much infill, so 5% is good. And then we're going to use a gyroid pattern instead of grid. And then what we need to do is just go ahead to support. We need to generate a support, and you can leave it as the left extruder or the right, but we are using left because that's the color we're going with here. And I'm loading my filament to the left extruder. So the support structure we're going to leave as normal, and we're going to be touching the build plate. And we can do zigzag, or we can do grid pattern. I'm going to go with zigzag, and our actual support density for the zigzag, I want to go 1%, because it's so small, it's not a very big support that we have to do. And then that is pretty much it. We don't need to change any other settings here. I'm happy. We've had our previous settings in our other videos, so if you want to see that, learn more how to use this program, I suggest go watching the previous videos so you know what you're doing. From here, we're just going to slice it, save it to our memory stick, and then we're going to head on over to our 3D printer and get this job started. We just got our print back from our printer, and like all 3D printing, there's going to be a few strings here or there that we just need to blowtorch out. Other than that, it came out really well. The only thing I need to do now is just go ahead and print those 3 little pillars here, glue them in, and that's just going to prevent the next tray from bulging downwards. And then we need to flip it over to the other side, remove these supports that we have here so that the next tray, this piece, slots in underneath. So let's go ahead and test this egg. Now obviously here's our normal size egg, and again we know that's going to be way too big, but the idea was for it to cup and sit in. So let's take our quail egg and we're going to put it in our middle piece here, and there we go. It fits pretty damn well there. It's got a little bit of wiggle room, which is perfect, because again, if there is a little bit of a bigger egg, at least it's going to fit inside you. It actually fits all the way around as well as underneath. And the whole point of this sticking out here at the bottom is so that it has space to breathe. And once you've got this tray set up with all your eggs, the idea of it being upside down is that every so many days you're going to tilt this tray opposite sides within the incubation chamber, and that's to mimic the mother moving the egg around. So the egg doesn't stick to the sidewall, the yolk sac doesn't stick to the sidewalls, so that this can actually incubate and then later hatch as a baby quail. So in all essence, this worked out really well, and we need to just continue making the rest of them. Plus, it wasn't possible without having this really good plastic from AM.CO.za, because this plastic works so well. Being an outdoor pet G, I can pretty much use it for anything. And I have to say, it is pretty much my favorite plastic amongst everything that you can get. And the color is also really cool, and it really matches the project that we're doing. So that being said, I really hope you like this video. And if you really want to see more of these videos, you must go ahead, push that subscribe button, click that bell icon so you can get notified on videos just like this one that are really cool. Hey, we'll see you in the next one.
AI may eventually take over, but what's for certain is that smart machines are already operating all over the world right now. So stay ahead with AM.CO.za. For 11 years, they've been leader in CNC and printing machines like CNC rotors, large format printers, vinyl cutters, laser cutters, plasma cutters, DTF printers, and many more. Visit am.co.za showrooms in Sunny Rock, Joburg, and Montenegro Gardens, Cape Town, or WhatsApp hi to 060 600 6000 for more info. am.co.za. Achievement matters.